Okay, so to start off, I thought I would bring out this bad boy. This is the Maybelline Brow Drama Pro palette in deep brown. Now, I have used this like not that long ago, like when my brow stuff are like dirty, or like the brushes, or like let's say I run out of my Anastasia Dip Brow, I would go into this. This makes a lot of noise because it has little brushes inside that I dropped. So it comes with like a double-ended brush and then a really big spoolie. So yeah, I thought it comes with like a waxy, like a tinted wax, and then a powder, and then like a matte brow bone shade. And then what I also have is the Maybelline Brow Precision Shaping Pencil. This is also in dark brown, deep brown. It's just a brush and then the spoolie on the end. But I think for today I am going to just stick with this palette just because I've used it before and I know it looks good. It's actually the same exact color as dark brown from Anastasia, so if you're dark brown in my shade and you need like a dupe or something, this is really good. I'm gonna actually use the brush that it came with. So I'm gonna start off by using the wax side, which is right here. As you can see, it's like going on my eyebrow. Like it's like the pigmentation's there, so it's, I really do enjoy this thing. Like it goes on smoothly, and like I don't have barely any brows to begin with, so the fact that this is like staying on is great. And the brush is really good. Like angle, like I use a angle brush from, oh I picked up the wrong shade. I use an angle brush from Real Techniques to do my eyebrows. It's a lot thicker than this brush, but this brush is not that bad. Usually brushes like this, like I would just like throw out, like sponge applicators and stuff like that, but this one I'm staying with because it's not bad. I hate filming my eyebrows. I never do it. If you've noticed, if you watched my other like videos, I never film me doing my eyebrows just because I just feel like it's so repetitive and like you always see it. You guys in, so hopefully you can see the application a lot better because I feel like you guys were like really far away to begin with. But yeah, like I said, this is just using the wax part. Already it looks really good, like a decent eyebrow. Like as you can see, brow, no brow. Right in this area right here, this is kind of like where I need to draw. Like this whole part is drawn on. There's no really hair there. Same with up here. So what I'm gonna do, because just with the wax itself, it adds color, like a tint, but like you can just, it still looks kind of bold, like real life in person. Like you can totally see where the hair stops and the product begins, and like I don't like that. I like my eyebrows to look as natural as possible. So I'm gonna go in, same brush to the other side because both sides are angled, and I'm gonna take the powder side, and right where I feel like I need to fill in, I'm just gonna kind of do like stroke motions backwards, fill it in. It also darkens the color also, since it's wax, it's lighter. A little lighter, not that much. I'm just gonna fill it in. We're not putting this all throughout the brow. Now what I'm gonna use is the Super Stay Better Skin Concealer, and this is in the shade Light. Now I feel like no one talks about this concealer like at all. It makes me upset because I use this concealer every single day. Like I buy backups of it. Like this is like my 10,000th tube of this thing. Like this is what I use every day to clean up under my eyebrows, and this is what I use as primer for eyeshadow, and I love this thing. I'm gonna start shaping out our brows, just right under it, and really defining the tail, because it kind of got a little sloppy, so making that tail sharp. And then what I do is I just drag it a little outwards, because I don't like that look of having, or some people I don't like having that look of when they shape out their eyebrows and then you can still see the concealer. So for me, I take a shade that is closest to my skin, and as I go in the front, I like fan it outwards like that. And then I'm just taking the brush and dragging the product downwards. So now that's all blended out, we're all kind of look crazy because we're all one color. I'm gonna go back to this palette right here. I'm grabbing my my Morphe, I think this is a G25 brush, like it's worn off the name, and I'm just gonna be grabbing this shade right here, this like this neutral shade right here. It's a nice matte shade, and we're gonna use this just to set the concealer so we can get ready to start putting on our eyeshadow. I really truly believe that you can have an amazing beat face all from the drugstore. Drugstore is stepping up its game. I had a lot of options for this part, just because like when you think about Maybelline throwback, to me I think of like their palettes and I think of like the nudes, but I didn't really want to do that because I feel like, not that people certainly did forget about it, but I feel like there's so many tutorials using that. So I thought we would use the smokes, which I think came out right after the nudes came out. What can I see? There's only 4 matte shades, which is not a lot when you're doing a smoky eye. And this is like the only like shade that I think can be used as a transition shade. I don't know, this is just my personal opinion. So to lighten this shade up, we're gonna just be taking this shade right here, this brown, and then they have like this like muted like pinky shade here, which is really odd, but whatever. So I'm taking this shade and then mixing this shade in it. It's gonna be like our lightener, kind of like when you mix shades with like white to lighten it. We're gonna be using that to lighten it, and this is gonna be our transition shade right into our crease. I'm gonna just start blending. Now the color is there, as you can see. Like, will I say it's the most pigmented like eyeshadow? Of course not. But does it show up? Yes. Is it patchy? No. So therefore, it is a win in my book. Let's take the brown shade by itself, the same brush, and this is going to be a lot darker because now we're not mixing it with anything. So that's what I like to do whenever there is a shadow, like an eyeshadow that I want to use, but kind of like this instance where like this is the only shadow that I want to use and I just need something to be a little darker and lighter to create some type of contrast. I will mix it to make it lighter and then use it on its own to be the more in-depth shade. So I'm just going to grab that shade, and this is going to go straight into the crease. I don't know if you can tell in the camera, but it is a lot darker than the first shade we put down. And the more you pick up from it, obviously the more pigmentation you're going to get out of it, so the darker it is going to be applied. Going to cut all the way around. About like that much. I cut it pretty higher than my natural crease. My natural crease is like right trying to point at it. Right here, like right here, I cut it a little higher. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off by using this shade right here. I want to say it's like a navy shade, and we're just gonna start applying this on the outer corner, well, on the outer V. So I'm gonna start just really blending that shade in right here. I'm gonna take this shade right here. It's like an icy blue silvery shade. I'm gonna take it on the packer side of the brush, and I'm just gonna place that kind of where like the middle of the lid and that color meets. I'm gonna stop about right here. A little space in between. Don't want this shade all over. I mean, it's pigmented, I'll tell you that. I'm taking the other side, which is clean. I'm kind of just swooping away the excess. Not bad. Not bad at all. Now, before we move on to the inner negative space, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the blue shade again, and just right where these colors meet, I'm gonna just lightly tap around, help it blend so it doesn't look weird. Moving into the negative space, but I'm really taking this shade right here. This is a hard shade to explain because it, like, when you just look at it, it doesn't look like much, but it has a little sheen to it. It's a more neutral shade. It's not as like dark as it looks in the pan. Negative space. I am adding this shade right in there. It looks like it didn't do much, but it did. It brightened up the space right here. So moving on to base, I had a lot of foundations to choose from. I feel like everyone still talks about like the matte and poreless one, but no one really talks about better skin foundation. And then if I love the concealer, I would think I love this too. This seems really thick and gross. Ew. I mean, it smells really bad. I feel like mine just may be too old because, like I said, they're forgotten about, so I probably just got a really old one. But I mean, it blended on really good. It covered really well. I might have to rebuy this. This is not bad. That's another reason why I wanted to do this video, is because obviously at one point these products were hyped up, and I'm pretty sure, because this isn't like a new bottle, like it is used. I'm pretty sure at one point I probably used it all the time, and I probably really liked it, and just new stuff gets hyped up, and new stuff becomes, I don't want to say better, but just more like up to date, and you kind of just forget about it. And like right now, I'm realizing that this covered really well, and it's a good color, so wow. Now for concealer, we're going to switch it up. We're not going to use the other one. We're using the, what is this called? Master Conceal. This is in 10 Fair, like I said, and everything I am a 20. So this is the lighter. No one talks about this like at all. Like never ever. This is really liquidy, so I have to pour it on the back of my hands. That's one thing I don't like about this concealer. I know I'm going to also, like, I'm mixing it because it's very, like, I don't know if you can see. But it's very, like, oily. Even when I first got this concealer, it was like that, very, like, oily. Taking a little more. Okay, I don't know if I put a lot in my hand, and, like, this one side is taking out a lot. Okay, just blend downwards. What I like to do is after I put concealer on, I like to do like a twist and roll down, so it blends to like my base. That one side took up like a lot of concealer, which I'm really surprised about. Overall, I do not like this concealer. I can see why people don't talk about it. It is a lot of work. It's really oily. I feel like it was moving my foundation around, like in this area and around my nose. I don't really like it. So I'm gonna cheat a little bit and just use my Laura Mercier powder. Do not hate me. But picking the sides of the nose and well, just the sides of the nose, because I can't really bake the under eye. You'll see why in a second. I'm gonna just go as close to the lash line as possible, like right here, and just leave this space free. Now this is a blush shade color. This is in 40 Warm. I swatched it right there for you guys. Right there. As you can see, it's pretty orange. Like, so I'm gonna use this instead of a blush. I'm gonna use it as a bronzer. Now I don't like using bronzers that have a sheen to it or glitter in it, but this is what we're having. This is what we're working with. So I'm just gonna not really contour, but kind of just drag it like that, pretty thick. These are really creamy, I'll tell you that. But will look good. Who knows? Oh, this is looking rough. We're gonna roll with it. It looks a lot better up here than it does, I think, down here. I am not going to be placing this on my jawline because that, like, there's no point. It's not gonna look good. Now for actual blush, the same thing. I have these Master Glaze blush stick. Okay, this one is just pinched pink. I don't know if you can see, but this one is a lot more matte compared to this side. This is berry pink. Has a big sheen on it. I think I'm gonna go with just pinched pink because we already like bronzy. This is like a golden bronze look. I'm gonna take my finger. Ooh, okay. That is very bright. Okay, I'm just gonna take my beauty blender. I feel like beauty blenders fix everything. Get a little warm. Just gonna dab it around. And with the beauty blender, pat the rest on. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm wiping away the bake with this big fluffy brush. Now, like I stated earlier, what we did was we put no powder like right here where I typically would do, just because for the highlights we're going to be using the Master Strobing Stick. Now this is like the most newest product out of this whole tutorial. This is in the shade 100. It is called Iridescence, Lights Iridescence. I'm not really sure. I know they have two shades. They have this shade right here, which I will swatch for you, which is a champagne color, like a pink champagne shade, and then they have a golden one. I had both, but I thought this one would be better. And obviously, since it's a cream shade, we cannot put powder, so that's why I left it open. I'm applying this right here with my finger, right in this space. That's it. We have some glow. There's some glow going on. Is it like bam in your face glow? No. But it is the glow that you will see if, like, if I'm turning my head, talking and stuff. So not terrible. Alright, now let's jump back into the eyes and let's just finish them up real quick. Taking a Morphe 506 brush, we're going to be grabbing the shade right here, the round shade from earlier. And we're just going to apply this all under the eye. Well, yeah. Now on the outer corner, taking the shade right here. I'm gonna stop about like right here, like right in the, before you hit the center of your eye, like right here. Now for mascara, I am going to be using the, what is this called? The Falsies Big Eye Mascara. That's it with me. That's my eye. With and without. Now I'm taking the bottom side, which has this really, really thin wand. Now, people used to love this thin wand. I don't know if you guys can see the bottom versus with none. So this is really good. So for lips, now I'm not going to use like their Color Sensational lip stuff. Like they have some of the Vivids, the mattes, and blah blah blah. There's so many. But you know what no one ever talks about anymore? These bad boys right here. These are the Color Blur Cream Matte Lip Pencils and Smudger. So this side has a smudger, and then this is the pencil part that would twist up. Now I have two shades with me. I have shade 45, I'm blushing, and I have shade 50, I like to mauve it. So it's just like a crayon, and it's really smooth. It's very, like, kind of feels like a lip balm. No one talks about these like at all. And I think that's because these never dry down, like they say they're matte. But like, they are, I don't know, they're like a soft matte, if that makes sense. Like they're the matte, like a velvet matte. That's better to describe it. Like they never fully dry down, so if you did anything, like they would move. Final thoughts. I love this look. I think it came out really well for using products that like no one talks about anymore, and I feel like we should start talking about these items again. So if you have the Smokes palette, bring it out, do a look, do something. If you have any of these items, bring it out, try it again, or try something else that you used to love back then that no one else talks about anymore. Make it talkable again. If that's even a word, talkable, whatever. Yeah, so I am very, really, really pleased with the outcome, and I like it. I'm not mad at it at all. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did filming it. So leave a comment, a like, and make sure you subscribe. I don't know why I moved my head like that, but yeah, until next time, bye.